My name is Nico. I'm a junior exercise science major. I'm here to go to PA school. I'm in the direct entry for that, and then I'm also a member of Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji. When I started here at UE, I never did imagine myself as a part of a fraternity. In fact, I signed up, I think, 5 minutes before the deadline because 2 of my roommates decided that they were going to go through it, and they just encouraged me to go with them. I had been actively recruited by a couple fraternity guys to sign up, and I was very dismissive of that. There would be, now I'm on IFC as well, but there would be a guy from IFC that would be tabling and would call me over, and I would kind of just ignore it because I just had zero interest. And then I ended up signing up just to try it because there was no commitment at the end of the week to sign anywhere. And I ended up finding my place here, and I kind of just knew as soon as I stepped foot in this house that this is where I belonged. So I found myself, house tours, everything was open mind. I had talked to a couple guys. House tours was cool just to see different houses, different guys that I hadn't met yet. Most chapters just have presidents and recruitment chairmen give the tours. But something that I felt stood out for Fiji was that everybody was all in the lobby, and every single person introduced themselves, whether they knew you or not, and everybody was dressed in very professional attire. The reason I was so dismissive of fraternity life in general when I showed up here was because of all hazing and stuff that you see in the news, and that it would serve as a distraction to my schoolwork. And so then to see some guys that took it professionally and very much displayed that they took it seriously kind of stood out to me from the jump, because everybody else was very laid back about it. And to each their own, there's a fit for everybody everywhere, but that was something that I felt very valuable to myself. In making my decision to join Fiji, I went into Passover, into letter reading, pretty open-minded, honestly. I had known John Brown was joining Fiji, and I knew that Austin was between SIGEP and Fiji. And myself, I was initially between Lambda, SAE, and Fiji, and then by Passover, I had narrowed it down to SAE and Fiji. And I went in just I had no idea what to expect when reading my letters, but everybody always said, go in open mind, read the letters. So I'm I came in just trying to listen to the advice of older people that had gone through it before and been okay, this is how I'm going to proceed about this. And so then I had opened all my letters and I read through it, and I felt like the letters that I had received from SAE and the personability of it just was not necessarily there. And even some of the guys that I had known best, SAE came onto my radar very late, so maybe that was part of it. Some of those guys were not able to give me as meaningful of a letter because they didn't know me as well. But then the thing that stood out again from Fiji was, they had, I think, 30-something members at the time, and I had probably only talked to 5 or 6. But every single person wrote me a letter, and every single person had something meaningful to say, whether it was about me and my drive and how I could grow here, or about their story and why they joined Fiji and why it's been super impactful to them. So it felt more beneficial to me to see how I would benefit from joining the fraternity outside of how the fraternity would benefit from me joining it. One is that we have a cabinet essentially, but we also have one for pledge class or new member classes. And on those, you'll have the same 5 positions that you have on a cabinet. And basically, it's just the president's job to make a plaque of the new members where each member gives a symbol that represents themselves. And you will put that then, and it's enshrined in our chapter history. So it's been done, since 2000, since we were founded. So that was really one of the only requirements. Afterwards, you get initiated. You just need a 2.7 GPA here. We do hold ourselves to a higher academic standard in that sense. I think most other chapters are 2.5, so just bumping it up a little bit more. Joining Fiji for me has been the best decision of my life. I think I had a conversation with my mom after I ended up joining the fraternity, and she told me that she knew I was going to join somewhere, even though I had told her insistently that I would not, because I had a large group of friends back home. And so then to go from that to 5 hours away where I knew nobody, she knew that inevitably I would join something, some sort of club and something that is bigger than myself. So I really feel like I'm going to be able to graduate and look back and say that I had no regrets.